Hello, everyone. Welcome back to A Course in Miracles here, and we're continuing through the workbook for students. And I thank you all, as always, for tuning in here, wherever you're tuning in from, whether you've gotten this feed through my website or my YouTube channel or Enlightened World Network, where this programming actually began earlier in 2021 as a live stream. Wherever you're joining me from, thank you so much. I appreciate, as always, your tuning in and your interest and commitment to your own practice, which, as I'm fond of saying, and I'll say it again, is the most important offering, by far, the most important offering that you could ever make the world. We'll talk about that today because we're on to a very powerful lesson here in the workbook, and that's lesson 191. I am the Holy Son of God Himself. Yeah, I am the Holy Son of God Himself. So are you. Yes. Because there is no separation of any kind. If I am, so are you. We're not dissimilar. We're not unequal. Just because I've turned on a camera and a microphone, a fancy microphone, which is off to this side of me over here, just because I've turned that on and I'm talking about spirituality to a worldwide audience and A Course in Miracles doesn't make me different than you in any way, shape, or form. Not at all. And deep down, you know this. Each of us knows this. We simply choose to deny it. So before I begin to talk about this really, really important and special lesson, let me just comment about how these videos are now proceeding, is that I am, in fact, just a conduit. I know that there are plenty of people out there in the spiritual realm that talk about just this phenomenon. They talk about being a messenger, a conduit, a channel, so to speak, for source energy or for a particular angel or archangel, whatever and whomever their teacher is, human or non-human, right? Yeah. This is exactly what's happening on these videos. I'm channeling the voice for God, the Holy Spirit, my teacher. I have taken the Holy Spirit as my sole teacher, and this is something that one can choose to do. A Course in Miracles has been the foundational centerpiece of my own spiritual practice for the last 8 years, and it has spoken to me in a way that other traditions have not. And I've studied many of them, including shamanism, including Tibetan Buddhism, most specifically in the Karma and Shangpa Kagyu lineages, and a couple of different varieties of Protestant Christianity, Methodist and Baptist, to be particular and specific. Yeah. I've been around in this lifetime in the spiritual realm. And what I've personally found is that A Course in Miracles synthesizes all of these apparently, and I do emphasize apparently, different philosophies and practices, East, West, shamanism, in a way that has spoken particularly to me. So when I speak to you, I am channeling the voice for God. So I just feel compelled to state that, first and foremost, it's really important because this is not about me. Yeah, it's my YouTube channel. Yeah, I teach classes. Yeah, all of that, right? But it's not about me because it's not a message that's coming from me. And this is a really important point because there is no me, there is no I, there is no ego. Nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God, the summary of A Course in Miracles. And it's something that's worth repeating because it's so simple and yet shows up in so many apparently different ways. So what I invite you to do as you watch this video and all of the videos where I'm showing up and teaching is the message is not coming from me. It's coming through me, what appears to be a dude named Tomas Garza in the United States, in Phoenix, Arizona, in particular, the western part of Phoenix, Arizona, near the cities of Glendale and Avondale, and so on, in all of the subdivisions and categories and divisions that we impose upon the Son of God, ourselves, here in the world. Yeah. The message is from the Holy Spirit. Who else? Yeah, who else? So, lesson 191, I am the Holy Son of God himself. This is the declaration of freedom for all of you. You are the Holy Son of God himself. Now, of course, understand in A Course in Miracles, we're using masculine pronouns. That's what the book uses. And if you've been raised in a Judeo-Christian tradition, as I was, many of you have, then that's familiar language to you. But understand, language is just symbolic. God has no gender. Really. So if you want to think of God as she or her, no problem, right? They, them, no problem. It, sure, no problem, right? They're just words. So what I invite you to do is not to get hung up on the terminology Son of God. What is meant by Son of God is that each of us is the extension of God. Love, being God, extends only itself. That's all it can do, is extend itself. We are that extension. Another way of looking at this, we are the thought of God. We are one with God. Now, God is the author, most certainly the author and the creator. This is what it means that we're created in his image. God is not a human being. We made all of this up. What you see, apparently talking to you on this thing that we've invented called the internet, which is a wonderful tool, by the way, for reaching all of you. What you see is ultimately yourself. Each of us appears to be running around in a separate body, having our own separate experiences, but we're all the Holy Son of God, one Son. Well, this is one of the central lessons of spirituality, and A Course in Miracles hits on it. And if you want to think of it this way, then yeah, think of it this way, hammers on it again and again and again and again, repeatedly, until we get it. But the cool thing is the Holy Spirit does it nicely. Because think about it this way, it doesn't do any good to give somebody a blinding flash of light that's going to scare the shit out of them, right? If seeing the truth of who you really are is going to cause you to cower in a corner and run and hide and feel terrified, do you think that love is going to do that to you? I don't. No, that's why we're given a gradual program, so to speak, a gradual curriculum of reawakening. We're doing it gradually. Now, we can absolutely save ourselves countless eons, lifetimes, lots of time along the path. A Course in Miracles emphasizes this. There are many ways that we can do this and hasten our own awakening, but we're given a gradual program for that reason, because love is kind and isn't going to send us into a tailspin and a panic. That's the ego talking and thinking that God is cruel. God's not cruel. Love is not cruel. It's not capable of cruelty. So lesson 191 is, in fact, as it states in the commentary, a declaration of freedom from the world. The world does not have to be what it appears to be to us, and that's a prison. It appears to be someplace that we're stuck We're stuck in this thing, apparently, right? This thing that we call the human body. And it obviously doesn't last forever, no matter what state of physical health we find ourselves in, whether we've been blessed with good health or not. Body doesn't last. It's not who we are. It's not who we are. What we're finding in this practice is we can choose to see it differently. We can choose to see ourselves differently. We can get out of our own way and allow the voice for God, the Holy Spirit, to run the show. You can, no matter whether you're following A Course in Miracles or not, you can allow your guides to run the show for you. Beautiful things happen when you do that. You simply have to get out of your own way and do that. Now, are you willing to do that? That's a different question, isn't it? Yeah. Are you ready to do that? This is a decision that we make moment to moment. Now, we can have stops and starts. So if you've had stops and starts along the spiritual path, so be it, right? Welcome to the club. That means you're doing something right, because we all have these. We have moments where this makes total sense to us and we're inspired to move forward, and we take a few steps and then we freak out. We seem to regress. Maybe we start thinking about it too much. We get in our own way. Our ego starts making sense again, like an abusive ex. Kind of, it's the same thing, isn't it? They start making sense again, saying, yeah, do you really want to do that? Oh, come on back to your comfort zone that you couldn't wait to leave in the first place. But come on back because it's familiar. Yeah, it's safe. Is it safe? No. What we discover is that it's not safe. We are the Holy Son of God himself. We are not frail. We are not compound bodies of flesh and blood that are going to end up disintegrating, completely disintegrating. Yeah, that is what it is, right? That's not who we are. That's not who we are. So we have a choice as to how we use the time that's given us right here. The purpose of time is for us to do exactly what we're doing, exactly what you're doing, waking up. That's what this is all about. So when we sit with an idea such as this one, we're accepting the truth about ourselves. All of spirituality, every tradition touches on allowing in one way or another, non-resistance to what is. Because what is, we are the Holy Son of God himself. What is has never gone anywhere. We've just chosen not to see it. And what this means is that having never lost our free will, we can choose right now in the present moment to see it differently for what it is. We can allow the truth of what is to shine through. This is happening for all of us. What is has never gone anywhere, and it's perfect. Not a single one of us is broken. If you feel broken, that's quite natural and common here in the world. The truth is, none of us is ultimately broken. Now, this course just kind of tells it like it is. The Holy Spirit doesn't fuck around. Yeah? Remember, this isn't me using that word. That's its word. Yeah. There's no point in dancing around and sugarcoating it because you've passed that point. There are plenty of sugarcoating traditions in the world, and if that is something that you're more comfortable with and you're going to listen to that. If that's going to resonate with you more in this lifetime, so be it. Ultimate truth simply is. And the very fact that you're watching this video means that you're ready to start hearing this. You're ready to start hearing it right now. You know deep down in your heart that you are ready to start hearing this message right now. This is the reason, on a gut level, the teachings of the Holy Spirit make sense. It's why you're attracted to this book called A Course in Miracles. Now, the word miracles may have gotten you in the door. Nothing's out of place here. There is a compelling reason for every semicolon, every comma, every punctuation mark. Remember, this work is, in fact, a divinely inspired, channeled work where Jesus dictated this. He knows what he's talking about, folks, right? This is why it resonates with you on a gut level. Whether you believe me, you don't have to believe me, it's not me that's talking after all, remember. You don't have to believe anything that this says. The very fact that you're watching this and even entertaining these concepts is proof enough of their validity. I mean, what's compelling to you about this material? It's not me. It's not my voice. It's not my appearance. It's not my delivery. It's the material, the message itself hits home with you on a deep, visceral level that you recognize. This is what happened for me. We all recognize the truth of who we are. We all recognize the living, breathing, foundational, and highly functional truth of lesson 191. Each and every one of us is the Holy Son of God himself. And of course, you'll notice that this is not plural. It says Holy Son, yeah, not holy sons and daughters. There is no separation of any kind. Again, a truth that speaks to you viscerally, that each and every one of us is waking up to. All right. So, my deepest wish here is that you think about all of this. Yeah? All these are just words unless you continue the journey. All of this is just a bunch of print in a book, or it's just a bunch of characters appearing online if you're looking at this online. It's all just words unless you make a decision to take this to heart and to begin to consider it, and then take the next step and apply this in your life and see what changes. A number of you have done this. The great part about A Course in Miracles is you can most certainly use it to augment your current spiritual tradition or traditions. We're extraordinarily blessed here in this thing that we call the 21st century to have access to every living, breathing spiritual tradition extant on this planet. Oh yeah, what a blessing that is, right? And I know that a number of you have a syncretic practice. In other words, you've taken the teachings of numerous spiritual traditions and taken what applies to you, and this what resonates with you. It's beautiful. It's great. Gone are the days where we feel like we have to adhere to just one tradition. Now, you could choose one tradition and make it a primary component of your practice. You may certainly do that. I've done that with A Course in Miracles, but it does not mean by any stretch that all of the other traditions that I'm still involved in, Buddhism and shamanism in particular, doesn't mean that they don't play a central role. So this is very, very inclusive. You are more than welcome to take these principles from A Course in Miracles and allow them to illuminate your path, your particular path. I mean, you could be practicing a traditional religion such as Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, right? Or you could be practicing a different form of spirituality entirely. The beauty of this material is that it's a self-study curriculum. It's not another religion, thank God, because the world surely doesn't need that, right? We don't need more sectarianism. God knows there's enough of that going around already. We don't need any more division. So you can most certainly allow this material to illuminate your own walk. That's what a number of people do. And that is an option that is absolutely open to you. And in conclusion, I thank you for watching. And I invite you to question everything. Question everything that I just said. Do it. Yeah, please. Right? Does it stand up to your own experience? Does it inform your experience? And do you feel that inclination deep down that this material is speaking to you? I mean, either you do or you don't. And if you don't, so be it. Ask the question. Yeah. I invite all of you to ask questions. And as you do it, bear in mind that we're to question the foundations of everything we now believe. I mean, don't stop with just one dude on the internet talking for a half an hour. Keep going. That's what I invite you to do, is to keep going and continue to ask. This inquiry is tremendously valuable. It's the essence of the spiritual path itself. And there are several places in A Course in Miracles where Jesus encourages us to do just that. So, yes, thank you, as always, for tuning in. And whatever source, whether it's Enlightened World Network or my YouTube channel or website that you got this from, thank you for tuning in and for your practice. And as always, I invite your questions and comments. If you would like to reach out to me, Facebook Messenger is a beautiful place to do that. It's Tomas Garza, right as it appears here on Zoom. And email will also work, tomas@tomasgarza.com. There are many times on the spiritual path where we want to have direct access to the teacher, where we want to and need to sometimes ask questions in a one-on-one setting. So I am available for that. And definitely, if that is something that you feel would benefit you, please reach out. And as always, guys, thank you again for your practice and for your questioning. Bring everything up to question. Everything. All right.